Hi guys, welcome to Baking Fundamentals. My name is Sophie Neverson and today I'll be showing you guys how to bake cupcakes in your own home. This specific recipe that I'll be demonstrating to you guys today has been in my family for over 25 years, so it's very special and sentimental to me. There are varying versions of cupcake recipes that you are able to find online or throughout magazines. However, I find that this recipe is by far one of my favourites and easy to make. The ingredients that are provided here today are easy to find down at your local supermarket and are also relatively cheap to purchase. The estimated food preparation time is 8 to 10 minutes and cooking time is approximately 10 to 12 minutes. However, I suggest that you check the cooking progress after the initial 10 minutes to ensure that you don't burn your cupcakes. Before we commence today's cooking demonstration, it's important that we briefly address occupational health and safety requirements to ensure that the health, safety and well-being of all our trainees is upheld and maintained at all times during today's program. Firstly, we must ensure that our workstation is clean and clear from any unnecessary equipment. Our hair must be tied back and pulled away from our face at all times to ensure that hair doesn't fall into the food preparation station. We must also remove all jewellery, including watches, earrings and rings, before the commencement of any food preparation is to occur. Any cuts and abrasions on your hands must be covered up with an industry standard hospitality blue band-aid. When handling and dealing with hot surfaces, it's important that an oven mitt is worn at all times to ensure that your hands don't come in contact with hot and dangerous surfaces. Most importantly, our hands must be cleanly washed and sanitised before the commencement of any food preparation. It's also important to ensure that our hands don't come in contact with our face during food preparation. If this does occur, it's important to ensure that all trainees follow the correct procedures of hand washing. Now that we've covered the basics of food preparation and food safety, let's get started with today's cooking demonstration. By the end of today's cooking demonstration, I'm sure you guys will become experts and confident cooks in the kitchen. Let's first begin by having a look at the ingredients that you'll require to undertake today's cooking demonstration. I highly recommend that you undertake the hospitality practice of Mise en Place when it comes to cooking in general. Mise en Place aims to ensure that all your ingredients and utensils are pre-prepared prior to cooking. During my Mise en Place, I have already prepared today's ingredients, so for those watching, you'll need 60 grams of butter, a third of a cup of caster sugar, vanilla essence, 1 whole egg, 1 cup of self-raising flour, and a quarter of a cup of milk. If you don't have skim milk at home, any type or brand of milk such as full cream or trim milk will be sufficient for today's recipe. I was always brought up on skim milk, so that is the only milk that I tend to cook with now. However, that doesn't mean that you're only limited and restricted to the use of skim milk for this recipe. Also, if you have any dietary requirements such as lactose intolerant or gluten, please feel free to substitute the ingredients that I have listed here to ingredients that will complement your dietary requirements. During our preparation, we'll also need to set our oven to 180 degrees fan forced. Setting our oven to the required temperature during our preparation time will ensure that our oven is up to temperature by the time that we need to place our cupcakes in the oven for baking. Another step we'll also need to complete is lining our cupcakes trays with the required papers. This recipe intends to make 12 small cupcakes, but depending on the dimension of your cupcake tray and how much you fill your trays with mixture will depend on how many small cakes that this recipe will make. Let me also briefly cover the utensils that you'll require to undertake today's cooking demonstration. Most importantly, you'll need a mix master, 1 set of measuring spoons and cups, 1 medium wooden or metal spoon, 1 sieve, 1 spatula, 1 set of oven mitts, 1 cooking timer, 1 skewer and 1 cooling rack. Let's now have a look at the preparation steps that needs to be taken. We'll first start by adding in and beating the butter and sugar to form a cream consistency. Turn your mix master onto a low to moderate speed. I've currently got mine set on speed number 4, but depending on the brand of mix master that you have, you may find that your speed settings are different and therefore requires a lower or higher speed to complete this step. The consistency that we're aiming for today is a smooth texture, so we'll need to beat the mixture until the sugar is completely dissolved. A little flavour extra that I always like to add to my mixture is vanilla essence. Some people don't like to add the vanilla essence to their mixture because the mixture can become too sweet, but I find that a small drop of vanilla essence tends to add some extra flavour elements to the final product and also aims to ensure that the cupcake mixture doesn't end up too dry and bland. Next, we'll add in the egg to the mixture and beat well on a low to moderate speed of 3 to 4. Continue to beat the mixture until the egg has completely folded into your batter mixture. So just to recap on the steps that we've completed and covered so far, we have currently added in the butter and sugar to the mix master and have beat it until the mixture has formed a smooth texture consistency. This was then followed by adding in 1 whole egg and beating until the egg was completely folded into the batter mixture. Now we'll begin by alternatively adding in the milk and flour to the batter mixture. Make sure that you set your mix master to a low speed setting of 2 to 3 to ensure that the flour doesn't spill out of your bowl. Continue this process until all flour and milk has been added and thoroughly mixed together. Once you have completed adding in the milk and flour to your mix master, your batter should now appear as a soft, light and fluffy dough. Be sure to add in the full amount of milk and flour to your mixture as I have specifically listed in order to achieve the desired mixture consistency. Now that we've completed the mixing process, it's time to put our mixture into our already lined cupcake trays. Spoon the mixture into your cupcake trays using a wooden or metal spoon. You may find that your batter mixture may make more than the 12 cupcakes. If that's the case, bake off your first 12 cupcakes first and then repeat the same process with the remaining cupcakes. So we'll now bake in a moderate fan-forced oven of 180 degrees for 10 to 12 minutes. I would suggest that you check the cooking process after the first 10 minutes to ensure that you don't burn your cupcakes, as each individual oven will bake at different speeds.